Terror attack on intelligence building in Mohali. Murder of kabaddi players. Multiple deaths due to drug overdose. Dozens of farmers committed suicide. Hundreds of farmers sent to jail. And now, famous Punjabi singer and Congress leader Sidhu Moosewala shot dead. Namaskar, I am Nishant Kumar Azad. All this happened in Punjab in just 2 months under the newly elected Bhagwan Man Singh led government. Punjab has been in news for all the wrong reasons. It has been only a few months since the Aam Aadmi Party government has been formed in Punjab, and the deteriorating situation there remains a matter of concern. The law and order situation in Punjab remains very worrying for a long. In a recent incident, Congress leader and famous Punjabi singer Sidhu Moosewala was shot dead in broad daylight in his own district. In the attack, 3 of his friends were also seriously injured. According to the police, Moosewala was going to the village Mansa and his friends. Several rounds of bullets were fired at Moosewala's car. The incident happened just a day after the Punjab government withdrew the security of 424 people, including Sidhu Moosewala. Now, the big question is, had the Punjab government not taken back Moosewala's security, his life would have been saved. The police were aware that there was a threat to Moosewala's life, yet the security was taken. After his murder, the atmosphere of the entire Punjab has turned into fear. The police have registered an FIR in City 1 against unknown person under section 302, 307 and 341 of the IPC. It is to be noted that after the Bhagwan Man Singh government has came into power in Punjab, there has been hurdle and cradle all around. Aam Aadmi Party, who was openly supporting the farmers' protest and was one of the instigators of farmers' agitation, has sent thousands of farmers behind the bars for no reason. Loan waiving of farmers was one of the major poll promise of Aam Aadmi Party, but it seems that on this front too the government failed, and because of that till now 24 farmers have committed suicide. Even sports persons are not safe in AAP rule. 2 national kabaddi players have been killed, no stoppage on drugs supply, which is still leading to the death of minors, and now famous singer Sidhu Moosewala. Moosewala was famous as a top Punjabi rap singer. He was the Congress candidate from Mansa in Punjab Assembly elections. After the murder of Sidhu, the politics of Punjab has become hot. At the same time, criminal gangs have also become active. Speaking to the media hours after Moosewala murder, Punjab DGP VK Bhavra said the Lawrence Bishnoi gang is involved in this murder. Lucky, a member of the gang, has taken responsibility from Canada. A gangster post, Lawrence Bishnoi, is going viral on social media. According to the information received, the post reads, "I, along with my brother Goldie Brar, take responsibility of killing Sidhu Moosewala. People may say whatever they want to, but we have avenged the death of our brother Vicky Midhukara. Sidhu Moosewala has helped to get him killed. I had called him from Jaipur and told him that what he did was wrong. He told me he didn't care for anyone and he challenged me, saying that he too kept his weapon loaded. So now we have avenged our brother's death, but this is just a beginning. Whoever was involved in the killing of our brother, they should be alert." In connection to Moosewala murder, the Facebook post attributed to Goldie Brar, who too has taken the responsibility of Sidhu murder, says, "I, along with Sachin Bishnoi, Lawrence Bishnoi group, take responsibility for the killing of Sidhu Moosewala. His name came up in connection with the murder of Vicky and Gurlal Brar, and despite this, the police did nothing." 31-year-old Lawrence Bishnoi was arrested in 2017 and was previously lodged in Bharatpur jail in Rajasthan. He was recently brought to Delhi Tihar jail by the Delhi police in connection to a Makoka case. He is in jail number 8 of the Tihar jail as confirmed by DG Prison Sandeep Goyal. Lawrence is accused of crimes under IPC sections pertaining to attempt to murder, trespassing, robbery and assault among others. The gangster belongs to the Bishnoi community that believes black bugs to be sacred, rose to public eye when one of his aides was arrested in 2018 and had revealed plans of eliminating Bollywood superstar Salman Khan, allegedly after being asked to do by Lawrence. Goldie Brar, whose real name is Satinder Singh, is known to be a close aide of Lawrence Bishnoi. Based in Canada, Brar is wanted in several criminal cases in India, such as the killing of Faridkot District Youth Congress President Gurlal Singh Pahalwan in 2021. He was known to openly promote gun culture, glorifying gangsters in provocative songs. He is facing charges of promoting violence and girl culture in his song Sanju. His song Jatti Jyoni Mor Di Banduk Vargi, released in September 2019, kicked off a controversy over a reference to 18th century Sikh warrior Mai Bhago. Sidhu name was also associated with Khalistan support. Sidhu has allegedly supported Khalistani separatist Jarnail Singh Bhindranwala in one of his songs, Punjab, My Motherland, in which he has also challenged Modi government that Punjab is not Kashmir, which you can grab with power. The song also included some scenes from a speech given by Khalistani supporter Bhupar Singh Balbir in 1980. In May 2020, two videos of Musawala went viral on social media in which he was seen taking training in operating AK-47 and a personal pistol along with 5 policemen. In this case, cases were registered against Musawala under the Arms Act and the police started raids to nab him. Canada, which is supposed to be a dream country for almost every Punjabi, is now proving to be hell for Punjab in all terms. It was Canada-based Khalistani element that created the disturbances in India during the farmers' protest. The pro-Khalistani sympathizer was allegedly instrumental in funding farmers' protest in India, culminating in the Republic Day riots. It was believed that it was Canada-based fringe groups which were behind Rihana's anti-India propaganda. In another incident, pro-Khalistani Canadian MP Jagmeet Singh whitewashed attacks committed by Muslim mosques against Hindus during Ram Navami and spreaded false propaganda against the Indian government. He claimed that he was concerned about the perpetrated images, videos and alleged targeted threats of violence against Muslims in India. It was only in March this year that an international kabaddi player Sandeep Singh Nangwal has shot dead during a kabaddi match in village Malan. Punjab police has made a major breakthrough by arresting 4 people related to the sensational murder case, and the Bhindranwala supporter is the master planner behind it. However, the main accused named in the case is Snover Dhillon, who is again a resident of Brampton, Canada, hailing from Amritsar. Business rivalry over competing kabaddi leagues allegedly give rise to the enmity which ended up in Sandeep's murder. Snover Dhillon is a producer and director at Canadian Saath TV and radio show and is also a staunch supporter of dreaded terrorist Jarnail Singh Bhindranwala. And now Sidhu Musewala, whose murder is reportedly planned in Canada by a gangster Goldie Brar, a close aide to the gangster Lawrence Bisnoy, and he has taken responsibility for the sensational Sidhu murder in Punjab. Such blatant interference of Canada in India, from internal affairs to farmers' protests to murders of kabaddi players or Musewala, provides enough threads of evidence of it being an anti-India hub. Thank you. After the killing of Sidhu Musewala, how is the current situation in Punjab, sir?
Thank you very much for calling me, Nishant, to Bharat Prakashan interview. The brutal murder of Sidhu Musewala has left a pall of fear and uncertainty in Punjab, especially due to the fact that this is not the first such killing which has taken place after the Aam Aadmi Party has come into the government. Earlier, you would be aware that international kabaddi player was killed, then another kabaddi player was killed. In total, there have been more than 19 murders and targeted killings over here, and many others have died, and there have been other incidents of violence also. So all these things in a sensitive state like Punjab, which is a border state, it leaves the people very disconcerted. And we start thinking of the terrible times of militancy, when the precursor to the militancy was events of this nature. So presently, the people are a little reticent and they are seeing the environment, they are seeing the scenario, but this thing has, इसने हला के रख दिया, actually, that is the word. इस killing ने हला के रख दिया. ऊपर से एक सोग का भी माहौल है, बिकॉज वो बहुत जाने माने सिंगर थे, कलाकार थे, थोड़े कंट्रोवर्शियल थे, बट यूथ उनको बहुत फॉलो करता था. तो सोग भी है, सदमा भी है, अनसर्टेनिटी है, फियर है.
यू हैव यूज्ड द टर्म इस किलिंग ने पूरे पंजाब को हिला के रख दिया है. इफ यू टॉक अबाउट सिद्धू मूसेवाला बैकग्राउंड एंड you also said that there is a huge fan following of youths in Punjab to Sidhu Musewala. But if we check his background, many of his songs, he appreciated Khalistan, he appreciated the Khalistani leader. So what's your take on this? Because people are saying that there is some Khalistani angle in this murder also. He was a kind of sympathizer of Khalistani movement and the Khalistani leaders in the past. So how do you see this allegation and all?
Uh, Nishant, see, the people of Punjab do not take this concept of Khalistan very seriously. There are others who might be doing it, but within Punjab, we are very sure that there is no place for Khalistan. So there is a fringe group, and this fringe group is it is motivated by people abroad, and especially in China and sorry, in Canada and the United Kingdom. So they once in a while they create a media hype about Khalistan. So Khalistan, if he has been saying, he has been singing some other controversial songs also.
Yes.
But just because of a person has got a particular viewpoint, there are many social, political, and other factors with which the person can be stopped from doing what he's doing, or he can be contained. That does not give anybody the right to take away a life or anything of this sort happening. And I mean, if this is part of a thought process, if it is there in society, it can be debated. It does not need to be dealt with violence.
One major thing is after the killing of Sidhu Moosewala, another singer, his name is Mankrit Alok. He is also receiving death threats. How do you see this? Consistent attack on artists, consistent attack on sports players. How do you see this?
Uh, like I said, I gave you a hint earlier, and I'm giving the hint again that if you would see the time before 1984, the times of the late 70s, something like this was happening in Punjab at that time also. And, we do not want something similar to be happening in Punjab. So I have already raised a question in some of my media debates that what is this concept of gangsters? Who is financing these gangsters? Who is giving them weapons? Who is giving them training? What do they want to achieve? I mean, a gangster is part of a union, or a gangster is part of mafia, or a gangster may be part of land mafia, or it may be part of the drug mafia. So this set of gangsters, who exactly are they, and what do they want to do? ये क्या extortion करना चाहते हैं, kidnap करना चाहते हैं? तो ये जो कंसेप्ट है ना गैंगस्टर्स का, मेरे हिसाब से ये योगी जी के आने से पहले उत्तर प्रदेश और थोड़ा सा बिहार में काफी ये चलता था. पंजाब में ऐसा कोई कंसेप्ट नहीं था. अब सडनली गैंगस्टर्स हैव बिकम वेरी वेरी एक्टिव इन पंजाब. व्हाई? So this is a question that even I am asking the administration, that they should tell us that what is this concept of gangsters? What do they want to achieve? Where have they come from? Where are they getting their money? Where are they getting the weapons?
But the question is, as you said, and another senior leaders and thinkers also said during the assembly elections of Punjab, if Aam Aadmi Party came to power, these things are going to happen. This was expected. So, but now Aam Aadmi Party is in power, and that party is going to rule for the next 5 years. How do you see this, all the situation? Because it was expected. There is nothing new what's happening in Punjab, as we know. So, what is the future of Punjab now?
Who can tell the future, Nishant? See, the Aam Aadmi Party has come with a very large mandate.
Yes.
And for all circumstances, and to keep the highest norms of democracy alive, I feel that they should be given a very fair chance to rule and rule well. But in so doing, Punjab should not be made इसको अखाड़ा नहीं बना देना है अपनी political aspirations के लिए, which is what is happening today. I have been saying this thing that our most respected Chief Minister Sardar Bhagwant Singh Mann, who also has a lot of love for Punjab, has somehow been reduced to a financer and a campaigner for the higher aspirations of the Aam Aadmi Party, and especially those of Arvind Kejriwal. This cannot work out. Firstly, we do not have any money to spare. We do not have the time to spare. We need a full-time chief minister who thinks only about the betterment of Punjab. If Bhagwant Mann ji can do something of that sort, I can assure you that the BJP will give him full support.
At
We do not want Punjab to become destabilized. We do not want democracy to go out from there. But the point is that the party has to get its act together and it has to perform.
But Javan Singh ji, at one side you are saying कि जो खालिस्तानी thing है वो ISI का creation है और जो foreign enemy है उसका creation. But the old ally of Arvind Kejriwal, Kumar Biswas, he openly said in his statement that due to Khalistan support, Punjab government came to power, and Arvind Kejriwal and the Bhangban Man both have hand in glove with the Khalistanis. How do you see this allegation? Because at one side, as a BJP leader, you are denying this fact that there is nothing like that in Punjab. This is all ISI and foreign enemy creation. But similarly, Kumar Biswas alleged that Aam Aadmi Party has connections with Khalistanis.
I will make it once again very clear that the people of Punjab have rejected the concept of Khalistan a very long time back. It is something which our neighboring country cannot digest. Our neighboring country always, whenever there is a weakness in any border state, whether it is in Rajasthan or it is in Punjab or it is in Jammu and Kashmir, if there is a political weakness or instability over there, our neighboring country always tries to exploit it. And it has got a set pattern of trying to exploit this weakness. As far as Punjab is concerned, most of the set pattern of trying to exploit this weakness is based on the concept of separatism. Separatism is what they did in J&K. Separatism is what they tried to do over here in the times of the militancy. So उनका ना एक पैटर्न है, उनका एक thought process है, उसमें खालिस्तान is part of that thought process. And for that reason, they are paying their stooges lots of money, millions of dollars for the lobbying, which is coming from foreign countries. And there is a very small fringe element in Punjab also, which tries to take advantage of this financing. And they want to keep the concept of Khalistan alive over here. But I am telling you again, Khalistan is something which is not a reality which will ever come into Punjab. Even if the government over here is supportive of it, it cannot come because the people do not support the concept of Khalistan. You must remember that Simranjit Singh Mann has been talking about Khalistan for a very long time now. He's on that extreme of Sikh separatism. In all these years, he has not garnered even more than 1% of vote in Punjab. 1% is too much. He has not been able to garner anything in Punjab. So that is the way the Punjabis feel. We do not look at Khalistan as a threat. And if any party tries to rule Punjab with the concept of Khalistan, rest assured that the party will be destroyed.
Okay. One major thing opposition is raising about this, and the common man also raising this question again and again, that the day Aam Aadmi Party or Manmohan Singh led government removed the security of more than 400 VVIPs, the incident happened. How do you see this all? Because there is a proper criteria before removing some VVIPs protocol or security. How do you see this whole episode? Ki, security guard hataya jata and the next day it happens.
No, see, I
because
personally
Aam Aadmi
feel
Party government has been claiming this कि हमने ये कर दिया, हमने VVIP culture खत्म कर दिया. बड़े-बड़े आप देख रहे होंगे कि advertisement अखबारों में आ रहे हैं. Even he has said that this from his own hand, भगवान सिंह मान. So how do you see this? Because this is like chest thumping कि हमने VVIP culture खत्म किया, and the next day it happened.
See, even we also want this so-called VVIP culture to stop in Punjab. But VVIP culture cannot be stopped in Punjab at the cost of the security of the state. There are certain procedures which have to be followed, and the procedures are based on a very professional threat perception by the police. And first, if you want to bring about this kind of a thing, first you have to ensure that there is iron-clad law and order and security situation in the state, and everything is under control. Where Aam Aadmi Party has gone wrong is that it is in a terrible hurry to prove to the people that it is a fantastic party. It has got 5 years to do so. We have been trying to tell them in debates that you go slow. Now, what happened over here? This particular action was taken only so that Arvind Kejriwal, in his rally in Haryana, could say that we have completely decimated VVIP culture over there in Punjab. And as I said, whenever there is a weakness in Punjab, there are many forces which are always ready to exploit the weakness. Now, this is a weakness, and it has been exploited. And in the exploitation of the weakness, a poor person, a very young man, has lost his life. So, so you have to, your governments have to be very mature in their outlook. And I have got nothing against the Aam Aadmi Party. We may be having ideological differences, but we live in a democracy. If there is something which they are doing well, I would be the first person to appreciate it. After all, it is for Punjab. But you cannot do this kind of things, and it is our job to advise them. I sit in so many debates, and I have never spoken a word against Aam Aadmi Party. I have always done the job of a very principled opposition, of giving them advisories and telling them to get their act together. Unfortunately, they are not being able to do it. They have got other aspirations. After winning Punjab, the aspirations have gone into the stratosphere. They want Gujarat, they want Himachal, and they are desperate for it. So in their desperation, they are exploiting Punjab. And that is something that we will never allow it to happen. If they do something like this, we are going to oppose them tooth and nail.
Karna Sahab, you are from Punjab. You have been posted in Jammu and Kashmir for a long time and played a crucial role in removing strategically in removing Article 370. You belongs to Punjab. You have seen both the states, both the major, you can say border states, crucial states for India. How do you see this situation calculating these things now? And what do you want to suggest to the Aam Aadmi Party to deal with these issues? I don't know how much Aam Aadmi Party will take your suggestion seriously, but from an army person and now a politician, you have both the expertise. What do you want to comment?
I hope the Aam Aadmi Party takes my suggestion seriously, because what I'm going to say is the only way in which Punjab can be handled. Punjab is going through a terrible period. Punjab is losing its youth to migration, and the remainder youth Punjab is losing to drugs. Punjab is losing its economy. It is under too much of debt. Punjab does not have any industries. Punjab does not have any fiscal activity worth the name. And Punjab is losing its water, it's losing its environment. So there is a lot of work to be done in Punjab. I am absolutely certain that the BJP government in the center would be very, very happy to extend a helping hand to Aam Aadmi Party, should it ask for support in a positive and a good manner. I cannot understand why people think that we are desperate to, the BJP is desperate for Punjab. After all, politically, Punjab is not that important for BJP, but emotionally, Punjab is very important for BJP. Strategically, Punjab is very important for BJP. It is only if Punjab is stable that the rest of the country can progress properly. So that is the main interest of the BJP so far as Punjab is concerned. I think that is my way of thinking. I think that should be the main interest of BJP. So under the circumstances, if the Aam Aadmi Party goes through its mandate seriously, and it does so with honesty, I am very sure that all the other political parties will help them also. And we should all grow together, because what is most important at this point in time is to improve the situation in Punjab.
Yes.
To stabilize Punjab, to bring Punjab back to its glory. We can play our politics later on. We can win our elections later on. The only requirement at this point is that Punjab has to be kept given primacy in all our politics. And if Aam Aadmi Party is ready to do that, I am sure we would like to help them. And my advice to them is that instead of trying to play these brownie points here and there, पहली बार हमने ये कर दिया, पहली बार हमने वो कर दिया, I often tell them that, look, I wish you the best, but you are a very small party. You cannot compete with the BJP. You will take time. You try hard. It's a democracy. It is their right to try hard. Na? It is their right
Yes.
to try to come compete with us, to come up to our level. But it's not going to happen overnight. इनका तो ये हाल है, मेरे को लगता है कि कोई आम आदमी पार्टी में इंसान है जो कि सोचता है कि मैं आज रात को सोऊं और सवेरे उठूं तो मैं प्राइम मिनिस्टर बन जाऊं. कैसे बनेगा? आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ही बनेगा ना, अपने टाइम पर ही बनेगा ना. परमात्मा बनाएगा, हार्ड वर्क बनाएगा, तो वो हार्ड वर्क तो करो पहले. आप पहले ही बनना चाहते हो, खीर खानी शुरू करनी चाहते हो, and do not make Punjab a stepping stone for your higher ambitions. Let Punjab function on its own. You're stepping, if you are doing some good work, the other people will appreciate it themselves. You don't have to tell them. Today the electorate in India is such, you cannot, I mean, we all think that we can move the electorate with social media and this and that. It doesn't happen. Our electorate is a very mature electorate. It sees everything, it analyzes everything. So if they are doing something good in Punjab, people will come to know. So basically, I feel that they should get serious about Punjab, and instead of using Punjab as a stepping stone, they should try to improve the terrible situation, socio-economic situation that Punjab is in.
Thank you, Colonel Javan Singh ji, for joining with Organiser and sharing your opinion and giving some suggestion to the Aam Aadmi Party.